So I don't know about y'all, but I like pizza. Yeah, it's one of my favorite things. Um, Unfortunately, I can't eat a lot of pizza right now. It makes me sick. So we make pizza without the crust at our house, which is pretty good. It says the Pizza Plaza offers the following types of crust. So you can get deep dish, thin, or hand tossed. And then you can choose between regular cheese or extra cheese. And then due to shipping shortages, they only have 4 toppings, extra additional toppings that are available right now. So we want to try to figure out how many different one-topping pizzas could be made if they have to choose a type of crust, a cheese level, and one topping. Okay, so let's kind of think through that. We had talked about some problems the other day that allowed us to do this when we have categories and we want to figure out a total number of options. Anybody remember what we do?
You do like the little branching. So.
Okay, we could, yeah, but if we think about it, we know we've got to take a type of crust, we got to take a type of cheese, and we got to take at least one topping. Okay, and so how many options do I have for my crust? I got 3. How many cheese options are there? There's 2. And how many toppings can I pick from? 4. And so if we want to know the total combinations, we just multiply all that together. Okay? So we've got all those different categories of things we can do. All right? And so that's what we want to do. We just want to multiply them. So 3 times 2 times 4, I believe is 24. So I could order 24 different pizzas, all right, if I was going to the Pizza Plaza, all right, as long as I got one of each thing, all right. And so that has a name. It's referred to as the fundamental counting principle or the counting principle. And it's one of our learning targets for today, okay? You probably started talking about that probably back in middle school, I think is when you first see that. I think you do it in Algebra 1 as well, maybe a little bit in Algebra 2, but this is just what we refer to as the counting principle. Okay, if I want to know how many total ways I can put things together, and I got categories, I just find out how many I've got in each category and multiply. It's really straightforward, which is nice. Okay. All right, so let's take a look at what we're going to talk about today. So we're going to talk about the counting principle some more. So that's the first thing, the counting principle. We're going to talk about what's called factorials and permutations. Those are just big fancy words for multiplication. Okay. And then how do we compute those things? Well, we're going to use our calculator to do that. So there's a button on our calculator that'll do it, which is nice. And so as long as we know what we need to do, the calculator will do the math for us, which is really nice. Okay. All right. So anybody like Dunkin' Donuts around here? Yep. Anybody coffee fans in the house? Best thing I ever did was start making my own cold brew at the house. Starbucks no longer gets my money. Okay? It is the best thing. My husband says that the underneath of our cabinet with all my coffee syrups looks like a liquor cabinet because there's just all these bottles of flavor. Like this morning, I had caramel pecan sugar cookie. Shut the front door. It was so good. All right. Anyway, so good. And then I have gingerbread. Ooh, I put that in my coffee at 9. That's so good. Okay, anyway. All right, so if you like flavors, pretty good stuff. So let's see. We're going to Dunkin'. Now, their coffee, though, has like 500 calories in it, so don't buy their sweetened coffees, okay? It's bad for you. So for cold brew, they have 3 sizes. They've got small, medium, and large. And then for 2 dairy options, they've got cream or no cream. And then for sweeteners, sugar or no sugar. All right? And so we want to write out all the possible ways we could order cold brew, okay? Now, I'm not going to list all of these. We're going to do exactly what we did a few minutes ago, okay? What are the categories we're dealing with? Size, dairy, and sweetener, okay? We don't have to do these the long way anymore, all right? So if we want total combinations that are available, we're just going to think of our categories. How many different sizes? 3. How many dairy options? 2. And how many sweetener options? 2. Okay, we just count. That's why they call it the counting principle. And then we multiply, so there are 12 different coffees or ways we could order our coffee. All right, so just multiplying those. Okay, that's learning target 1, the multiplication counting principle. We have our first Thanksgiving dinner on Sunday. I can already smell it. My mother-in-law does Thanksgiving on the Sunday before Thanksgiving because our family's so big. So, you know. So I start at her house on Sunday. And then I eat myself stupid. It's okay. It's okay. I can eat a little bit. I'm a little nervous. I can't eat potatoes of any kind. They make me throw up every time. Why? Just because they're so starchy, and I just don't eat a lot of sugar. I don't eat any hardly, and I don't eat a lot of carbs. So my max is supposed to be like 15 carbs a day. Normal people eat 25 a meal. No, carbohydrates are like sugars, breads, things like that. But there's going to be hash brown casserole there. It's going to be really hard for me not to at least lick the spoon. I love hash brown casserole.
Just eat and then throw it back up.
No, it's painful when I throw up. Because my stomach's right here now. It's a little bitty and it's right here. So it hurts real bad.
But it's worth it.
I don't know. It's not. It makes me feel bad for like a day.
It tastes good.
I know, but I am making a peanut butter pie that's made out of protein shake and sugar-free pudding so I can eat that so I can have dessert. I bet it's good. It would be good. I made buffalo chicken dip the other day with blended up cottage cheese. Y'all, my husband did not know the difference. He goes, that tastes just like what it used to before we had surgery. It was good.
Don't bring no chocolate protein pie.
I bet it's good. I haven't made it before, but I'm getting ready to.
Oh, yes. You're gonna be disappointed. I guarantee it.
I guarantee I won't. As a girl who don't get no cookies, it's all sugar-free. But it's still sweet, though. Y'all don't believe me?
It's gonna have that weird dull taste to it.
No way.
Feel like equal or something there?
No, you don't have to. The protein shakes are sweetened.
Not all of them. Some of them dull.
Y'all hurting my heart. I got sugar-free Reese's peanut butter cups to go on there.
No, I ain't saying it ain't gonna be good. It's a little-
Just seems odd. Okay, well. But you put like pudding mix with it, so you can't really tell. Oh, you don't like pudding? It's okay. My husband can't either. He doesn't like it. He says it's slimy. Yeah, it's a texture thing. Ooh, now yogurt, I eat yogurt all day, every day. No, my favorite thing is take a pack of protein powder and put it in some vanilla Greek yogurt and then some sugar-free chocolate chips. It's so good. It's like cookie dough. When you can't eat a cookie, you get real creative, let me tell y'all. Sugar-free chocolate chip. I don't know what it is. I just eat it because it's good. I don't know. I didn't make it. I buy it made. It's still sweet.
I think it doesn't have sugar in it.
Oh, it's got sugar alcohol in it, which is I'm allowed to have. But I can't have like cane sugar. So it's still got carbs in it, so I have to be careful. Okay, sorry. I'm hungry, can you tell? All right, so it says for coffee, they have 4 sizes, 7 dairy options, 8 flavor options, and 2 sweetener options. Woo! All right, how many different ways could we order our coffee? So let's do that one. All right, we've got size, we've got dairy, we got flavor, and we got sweetener. All right, so we've got all of our categories there. All right, and then let's figure out all of our numbers. How many sizes? 4. How many dairy? How many flavors? And how many sweeteners? 2. Okay, I can't do that multiplication in my head.
It's 448.
448? Yeah. Ooh, that's a lot of coffees. Okay. All right, so let's switch and talk about a little different way that we use this multiplication stuff. Okay. So at the checkout is a sign with 2 big promotions, okay? The first one says this: you can win free coffee for life. Ooh, that'd be awesome. Okay? And so It says using each of the digits 1 through 6 only once. Create a 6-digit passcode. If you enter your passcode online and if you match our secret passcode, you'll win free coffee for life. So we want to try to figure out how many different passcodes are possible. All right, so let's just kind of walk through this. How many digits are in my passcode? 6. Okay, so each blank is going to represent one of my digits. Okay, so each one is one of my digits, and we know we'll multiply. Okay, now it says using each of the numbers 1 through 6 only once. Okay, so can any of our numbers repeat? No. Okay, so let's talk about the first spot. When I go to pick a number for the first spot, how many numbers do I have to choose from? 6. Okay, when I get to the next one, how many do I have? I only have 5. What's going to happen each time? It's going to count down, right? 4, 3, 2, 1. So the number available in each spot changes because I'm using them. All right, I can't use them twice. And so if we multiply all of that together, we get 720 passcodes. Okay, so it's still the, Brooklyn, shush. It's still the multiplication counting principle, okay? But this time we got to think our categories, what's available in each option changes because I use something, okay? Now, if you ever see this symbol, anybody seen that 6 with an exclamation mark? Okay, you might see it on an ACT. That's about the only place you'd see it. That's called a factorial. Okay, that's called a factorial. And what it means is you start at that number and count down to 1 and multiply. Okay, now, is it necessary you know that? No. All right, because we can literally type in 6 times 5 times 4 times 3 times 2 times 1. Okay, and that's just as easy. But it's referred to as a factorial. There is a factorial button on your calculator, though. All right, which is cool. Let me show you where it's at. So grab your calculator real fast. Let me show you where it's at.
How many questions on the app today?
I don't remember off the top of my head. Thanks for asking. Okay, so I'm going to type in the 6, all right, just like normal, right? And then if you hit the math button, there are a lot of options up there. Arrow over to the one that says PRB. That stands for probability. Okay, and if you look at number 4, there's that exclamation mark. Okay, so I choose number 4. And that tells my calculator you're going to start at 6 and multiply 6 times 5 times 4 times 3 times 2 times 1. Okay? And if I hit enter, I should get the same answer that we got a few minutes ago. Okay? Which is cool. It recognizes that symbol, but it's math probability number 4. All right? The exclamation part. Now, is that really necessary? Not for 6. All right? But what if I had 95? Right? You wouldn't want to type in 95 times 94 times 93 times 92 and so on and so on and so on all the way to 1. You might want to use the button. Okay? So that's what it's for. It's just a little shortcut to help you if you get a big number that you need to do a factorial for, right? So if I did 95, math, probability, number 4, and hit enter, okay, it actually told me that in scientific notation because the number is so big. All right? That's what that E stands for. All right, so that's like 1.03 times 10 to the 148th. That's a humongous number. Okay, that's a humongous number. All right, so if you wanted to make a note there, if you wanted to use your calculator, all right, you could say on the calculator, it's math over to probability, and then choose number 4, which is your exclamation point. Okay, so you can use that if you need it. All right, well, let's look at how it changes. Okay, let's look at how this question changes. So it says to win free coffee for a year using digits 1 through 6 with no repeats, create a 4-digit passcode. All right, enter your passcode online, and if you match it, you win. Okay, so let's look at this. It's still the counting principle, but how many spots do I have to fill this time? Just 4. Okay. We can't repeat anything, okay? So how many numbers do I have to choose from for the first spot? 6, and then the next one, 5, and the next one, and the next one, 3. And that's all we have to do, multiply those, okay? So here's the thing. That's not a factorial because does it go all the way to 1? No. Okay, it does not. If you use your calculator, you can type that in, get your answer. It should give us 360 codes. Now, this is what we refer to as a permutation. Okay, so it's the counting principle. We count down, but we don't count all the way to 1. Okay, it's called a permutation. All right, and this would be then we use a big P. All right, how many digits did I have to choose from?
4 or 6.
6, but how many places did I want? 4. And that's what it means. Okay, I would call that 6, pick 4. All right, that's how I would say it for a permutation. Okay, in a permutation, all right, the order matters. Okay, the order matters. I only have 6 numbers to pick from for the first one. I only have 5 to pick one from for the second one. I only have 4. So the order that we're picking is important. Okay, so order matters. Tomorrow we're going to talk about one where the order doesn't matter. Okay, it's a similar concept, but the order doesn't matter. Today it does. All right, there is a button on your calculator that'll let you do those. Okay, which is really cool. So on your calculator, again, 6, 5, 4, 3, multiplying those, not hard. We could just type it in. All right, but if I have 75 things and I wanted to pick 60 of them, I would want to use my calculator. Okay, so to use it, you're going to hit the math button again. Arrow over to probability, and I think it's number 1, so let me check. Okay, it'll say NPR, all right, for permutation. All right, so math probability. Math probability, oh, I was wrong, it's number 2. All right, NPR. It should come up with 2 blanks for you to fill it in. 6 of them, and I'm getting, go back, heifer, 4. I hit enter, still got 360. Okay. All right, math probability number 2. NPR. Okay, does it leave you spots to fill stuff in?
Nah, this is what it's doing. Like,
Let me see. Oh, my bad. Okay, put the 4 in the little box. Yep. Yep.
Okay.
Yep, got it. Okay. All right, and that's a permutation. For most people, it's just as easy to list the blanks and the options that go in them. Okay? The only time that gets weird is if you got really big numbers, all right, where you might want the calculator, but it's also a good way to check yourself, make sure you got it right. Yes, sir.
It's not working.
All right, let me see. All right. Okay, so for yours, what you have to do is 6, then math, probability, and then 4. So put the number in first. Okay. Yeah, I have to think about that one. That one has got a different operating system. Okay. All right, let's organize our notes. We're going to do about a couple of examples, and we're going to be done. All right, this is as hard as it gets today. All right, like it better than the probability? Me too. All right. So let's jump over here. You liked probability? Good. We're going to let you do it for everybody then. All right. So learning target 1 was our counting principle. We use it for when we want to know total options for multiple categories. Okay, and we just take category 1 times category 2 times forever. Okay, however many we have, and there should be numbers in there, and we just multiply them. Okay, that's the counting principle. All right, we just multiply. Right? Learning target 2 was a factorial, okay? So it's like the counting principle, okay? We're going to multiply all digits to 1, okay? So if I had 5 factorial, that would be 5 times 4 times 3 times 2 times 1. Okay, so that's all that means. I think the only reason you would need to know that is if you saw that exclamation point somewhere. Okay, most of us just fill in the categories and multiply. It's fine. All right, treat it like counting principle. And then the last one was a permutation. Still the counting principle, okay? Fancy word for multiplication, okay? Basically, we're going to multiply, except not to 1. Okay. If you're using your calculator, you'd use that NPR button, okay? In order matters. Okay. Ice cream fans in the house? I love a good ice cream too. Okay. That's what I miss most right now because I can't have dairy. All right. It is what it is. It'll be okay. One day I'll get to eat it again, so life is good. It's usually about 2 years out. So I can have a little bit of cheese, but I can't have a lot. All right. We'll finish up when we come back, okay?